endured some crazy weather. Come on, give yourself some congratulations. There was trees and flooding and all kinds of fun things going on out there. So we got to have a tour with our family at Optavia headquarters. Who's been to the headquarters here from the Vivek event or because you live here in the area? Yeah, it was really cool. We were shocked. As we came in, all the corporate team was clapping as we came into the headquarters. Our kids were just like, oh my goodness. I'm like, this is what we're part of. And this is who takes care of all the back end of what we're doing. So who is so blessed and so grateful to be part of this amazing company. Come on. Yeah. So, really special day for our family to thank them. And then they're here clapping for us and just so grateful to be part of such an amazing mission.
Yeah, it sure is. And to be, can everyone hear me with that? I think to me I sound like a 13-year-old voice. Right? I can do that. Ooh, hey. I found the bass in my voice.
All about the bass.
Good to be here, friends. Tia and I have been trying to get to this area for a long, long time. And it's a complete honor that you guys would welcome us into your home and into your side of the country because I'm a West Coast boy, all right? You got to understand, I'm born and raised in Oregon. And I don't think it gets any farther away than that from here. But I can tell you, I moved to Arizona about 5 years ago. And I was talking to some friends today in Arizona, and they said it's about 95 and sunny there. And I said, I'm driving through a tornado in Baltimore right now. And I tell you, that's right. Somebody's got to take one for the team. So you know what? Is this how it always is in the summertime here? It's just, I think it's the tornadoes are following us from the Midwest. All right?
Only in the afternoon.
Okay, only in the afternoon. Duly noted. Well, guys, tell you what, the reason I think it's so crazy for us to be here, Tia, is that 10 years ago, literally this summer, and it was in July, exactly 10 years ago. Anybody on Facebook? Who's on Facebook? About 4 of us. Okay. For the other 400, it's this little thing that Zuckerberg. Okay. All right. So I was on Facebook right before MySpace. Okay. Do you guys remember MySpace? Yes. Some of you are like, who? Why are you in MySpace? Okay. I was on this little thing called MySpace, and there's a few converts going over this thing called Facebook. I'm like, what? Who? What is it? So I got on it, and the first thing you do when you get on social media is add friends, and you find out who you used to go to high school with, right? You remember the first time getting on social media? It's like, oh my gosh, oh wow, they've changed. You have too, all right? We've all changed, right, Tia? And now they have filters for that, so we can make ourselves look like we were still in high school if we want. But I would never do that, but I see some people. You ever done that? You meet someone in person, and then you saw their picture on Facebook, and you're like, huh? Right? Don't do that. Don't use that filter, all right? The truth always comes out. But I was on Facebook one night, and Tia, I was finding old friends that I used to go to church with, and that I had gone to high school with. And see, you got to understand something about me, though. I was always a really big guy. I mean, for crying out loud, bless my mom, I was born almost at 11 pounds. So I was a brother like me fighting his weight from the time he was born, all right? I mean, I've never been under 10 pounds in my entire life. So you're just going the wrong way from birth. And so, you know, when you're in the 5th grade, you're already getting into husky jeans, and, you know, your mom's having to hem your pants because they had to buy jeans for you that were built for taller men because they had bigger waists. And, you know, I was just always fighting you're shaking your head like you went through this too, Tia. Not quite. You didn't go through the husky jean phase.
No, we didn't.
All right.
The cheerleading outfit. I was the biggest cheerleader.
You were the biggest cheerleader. I bet you were the hottest cheerleader, though. The biggest, hottest. Anyone else had to go through some husky jeans? Huskies! Where's my huskies at? My husky men. I like it. All right. We want to retire those huskies for skinnies. Okay? But, so I'll go back to the story. I was finding different people that I knew. And I had always tried to lose weight. And I was a gym rat, but I don't know if I was a rat. I would attempt to go to the gym, and I would come home and weigh myself, and I'd gain weight. I'm like, what is wrong with this? And I thought potatoes were vegetables, and so I'd have plenty of French fries, and just nothing was working. And I was on Facebook one night. It was about 11 o'clock at night. You're just spending too much time scrolling, meeting these new people that you haven't seen in years. And this guy posted on Facebook, and he goes, I'm getting ready to start this program tomorrow. What he actually said was, many of you may or may not know, I've struggled with my health and my weight for a long time. I'm starting this new program tomorrow. Wish me luck. And in my mind, I was like, good luck. But you always compare yourself to somebody else naturally. So I always knew we were about the same size. You remember this, Thea? Because I drug you. You got drugged in the coffee shop a couple days later. So I'm watching this post on Facebook. And a week later, he updates. He goes, man, this thing works. I'm down 7 pounds, and it's only been a week. And I'm like, dude, that's crazy. 2 weeks go by. He then posts again. He goes, man, this thing really works. I'm down 14 pounds in 2 weeks. And I private messaged him, and I said, dude, are you doing crack? Because that's not normal, right? But you get to a place where you're so desperate, you've tried everything, you've got everything and still have your pride, and you're like, I will do whatever it takes. I want to lose weight more than anything. I mean, I was at the point to where I was falling asleep every single night on the recliner, not being the dad that I wanted to be, not being the husband that I wanted to be. And I tried, but yet food was like always my vice. And it wasn't about getting healthy, it was just about losing weight. And I was starting to go on I started to have high blood pressure and different things like that. I messaged him, and I'm like, first of all, you're doing crack. And I'm like, haha, okay, jokes aside, what are you really doing? He goes, let's have coffee. And I'm like, dude, I'll buy. So we met for coffee the next day. And I have a feeling like that's the day my life changed. That's the day that I had the opportunity to travel around the country and to share my story with you. Because I never saw this. I never saw me standing here even possible, because I was so impressed with what Calais had to share with us. And he sat down and he goes, Doug, if you're looking to start another diet, this isn't for you. If you're ready to change your life and the side effect is you're going to lose weight, this program could be for you. I literally speed dialed my wife. I'm like, Tia, get down here to the coffee shop now. Right? Did I not?
And I came reluctantly, but I showed up at that coffee shop. I had little kids at the time. And you have to think, I was 40 pounds heavier. I was like barely getting by in my days, just keeping up with, an almost 3-year-old and a 1-year-old at the time. So I showed up. I wanted to support Doug, and so we took this leap together. And within a week of being on this journey, I was more patient with my kids. I wanted to make a healthy meal for our family, and I was down almost 7 pounds. Results not typical. Results vary. But I had just shed so much detox out of my body. I mean, I was waking up, my typical morning would be, by 11 o'clock, it was to get to, if I could get an outing in my day, it was to go to Starbucks with my kids, and I would get the pumpkin scone and the pumpkin spice latte. I think I was eating 1,000 calories in one setting. So to see what this program and this process and the coach coming alongside me was powerful. But about 2 weeks into my journey, I was invited into an environment like this, into a community. It was actually at Lisa Castro's house in Portland, Oregon, and I said no. And the next week, my coach again said, hey, we're having community night, we're having health and hope night, you should come out. And I'm like, I'm good, thanks so much for inviting me. Third time, the next week, I'm down almost 20 pounds, I have 15, 20, I can't even remember at this time, you guys, I just remember I could fit in this pair of jeans that I hadn't been able to fit in a long time, and he messaged me that day, he's like, hey, community night is tonight, you should come out. And I'm like, yes, I'm gonna go. And it was in this environment and in this community that I was awakened to realizing I'm not alone, that it's okay to want more. I had been looking for Optavia all of my adult life up until, I'm so happy and grateful to my 29-year-old self. I just turned 39. So when I look back 10 years ago, that I took that leap to say, yes, babe, I'll do this with you. We had dieted for 10 years, on and off, lose some weight, gain it back. And when we took this step, I think the game changer for me was the coach that said, consistently every week invited me. Even when I would shun him away, he consistently said, hey, we're here for you. And this community, it was a game changer. I started coaching about 4 weeks into my journey, and it was literally for a best friend and my mom. And at this point, you guys, you have to think, I was with these mommy groups, I was doing my life and doing my thing. And so I had referred already 5 of my friends to my coach. And finally, my best friend and my mom said to me, I really want to do this, but I want you to coach me. And I'm so grateful to my coach that just stayed consistent with me. So I took this leap, and now here many of you sit in this room because Doug and I just took that leap and kicked fear in the face and decided to take our personal health and focus on it. I think so many of us have to come to that place in our life where it's like, we gotta focus on us, focus on the inside to be able to show up effectively on the outside in the world. And so I would say what I have found the biggest thing about what we're doing here is that within a week's time, how you get to begin to see the person, like I can see someone, I can be like, I see the spark within them, and within a week's time, we get to see that fire awaken in them. Isn't that so cool? What we get to do as coaches is we get to see people wake up, like literally over a week's time, people wake up to their potential and see that they actually have the tools and the resources within their hands. So I'm so grateful.
Yeah, because you can always tell when someone's in fat burn, right? They have that fat burn glow, right? They just start beaming. They have smiles on their face again. They're not going through the angry stage. They're like no, you don't want to go through the angry stage. You want to be in the fun, the freedom stage of your health. And that's why when my coach sat down with me and he said, Doug, I'm so thankful for my coach, first of all, for being unapologetic for what he believes in and for guiding me through this process. Because you got to understand, we lost over 100 pounds together. 100 pounds. Hello. Is that a lot? And maybe that's not a lot around here. Holy crap. Yeah, that's like a lot. Like, it rocked our world. And what happens is, when your world gets rocked, it is your duty to share it with others. I could not keep this thing to myself. And he on that first meeting, he sat down with me. He goes, Doug, the reason that you've never been successful at losing weight is a couple of reasons. And I'm like, well, tell me. I know why I'm not successful. It's called I eat too much. But besides that, all right, he goes, number one, you need an easy-to-follow program. Your nutrition must be easy. We're in a fast-paced world. We need something that just, if I do it, eat it, follow it, and you will have results. I'm like, I can do that. Just tell me what to do. Because clearly I didn't have time to food prep. We're coming, we're going, we're working, we can barely get home. We're driving, we get caught in rainstorms, our cars almost flood. I mean, right? This stuff, real life is happening to each and every one of us tonight. And I'm like, he's like, you need something easy to follow to where you can do what you're good at. I'm like, what am I good at? He's like, you're good at eating. You're just not doing it right. You're eating all your calories like in one meal. What if we just separated those calories out over like an entire day and you got to eat 6 times a day? I'm like, hold up. You had me at eating 6 times a day. Hello, I'm good at eating. Let's just do it right. So he taught me to do it right. Number 2, he goes, everybody who's successful in their health needs a health coach. They need someone who's walked a mile in their shoes, that knows what it's like to struggle sometimes, that knows what it's like to go through the process and to be there, to guide you, to send a text, to check in with you each and every week. He goes, I'm going to be that for you. I'm like, bro, seriously, like I don't have too much extra money to pay. He goes, Doug, it ain't about the money. Optavia pays me too good. Don't you worry about it. I will be taken care of. I'm going to guide you through this process. And then he said, number 3, I'm going to plug you into this community. We have online Facebook groups. We have gatherings that meet up once a month or so here and around town. We get together for Zoom calls on Wednesday nights and this Habits of Health calls. He goes, I'm going to plug you in so you're like in a network of people who are on the same path as you. I'm like, dude, seriously. And he goes, and number 4, he goes, the 4th component is this guy who co-founded the program, Dr. Anderson. He wrote the Habits of Health system to help you identify your stress triggers and to get your mind healthy. So, because he goes, what's going to happen, Doug, is over the next 14, 16, 20 weeks, your body's going to be losing the 65 pounds that you want it to lose. The problem is your mind is not going to be losing weight that quick. So over the next 14 to 16 to 20 weeks, as your body's losing the weight, we're going to get your mind healthy by working through the habits of health system. And then here's where he blew me away. He goes, oh, my baby. This is actually, that's worth a high five right there. Because he goes, now, what's going to probably happen is you're going to have great results. He goes, you're not going to probably, you're going to have great results. He goes, you're going to have great results. People are going to be noticing. You have a choice. You can coach them or I can. Because people are looking for something that works. They're looking for this community. They're looking for something that's easy to follow. They need something that is like that they can just enjoy and that they can thrive and they can be a part of something. He goes, do you want true health insurance? I'm like, well, I have decent health insurance now. He goes, no, that's sick insurance. He goes, you want health insurance? I'm like, yeah, baby. He goes, I'm going to challenge you to consider paying it forward and helping a few friends out. Because it helps with accountability. And I'm like, I get that. I don't want to guide people to do something I'm not willing to continue doing myself. And Susie, the crazy thing is that when we started having success and we started plugging into groups like this, I remember, I'll kind of close with this to you. I was sitting in the back corner of a group about this size in June of 2010 in Bend, Oregon. Right? It was a group about this size. I sat in the back corner, and I had been to a couple of, not meetings, but like gatherings like this. And I was like, these people are absolutely awesome, or they're freaking completely crazy. Or a combination of both. And I'm like, but for some reason, whatever they're doing, they're having more fun in life than I am. I mean, I didn't have too much ego and pride to say, whatever they're doing, it seems like they're enjoying the process. And every time I see somebody a part of Optavia, I'm seeing less of them. I'm like, they might be onto something. And I made that decision. And I remember that was the summer we decided to go to convention. But the coolest thing, guys, was that when we started paying it forward and helping our friends and our family out through the 4 components, what happened was the West Coast started getting healthy. Then Cali. Then Arizona. Then we had a friend on Facebook in Arizona and New Mexico. And next thing you know, it spread up to Utah. And then it's jumped over to the East Coast. And now, because of the movement of Optavia, hundreds of thousands of people around the country are getting healthy. And now, very soon, the world. And, I do believe, though, when you're at this process in Optavia and this program does something for you and you commit to it, because this program rewards people who commit to it. When you commit to your health, you get results. And what happened was when we committed to it and we started seeing the results in all areas of our life, it became our duty to share it with our friends and family unapologetic. So I have a question. Whose life has been blessed by Optavia? Raise your hand. Yes. Okay, stand up if your life has been blessed by Optavia. Come on, just stand up. Let's do some healthy. Even you, Susie. You see, if Susie's standing with a broken foot, y'all can be standing. Okay. All right. Now, this is cool right here. On the count of, there's 4 components that probably have impacted your life. There's the nutrition plan. There's the selfie plan. I called you out there. That was awesome. Okay, so there's the nutrition plan. There's the community. There's the habits of health. And there's the health coach. On the count of 3, I want you to shout out the one that has impacted your life the most thus far. Okay? That's the point. On the count of 3, shout out your favorite of the 4 components. Nutrition, community. You better say community because you're in the community. No. The habits of health system or your health coach or all the above. 1, 2, 3. All the above. Heck yeah, that's what it's all about. You can give yourself a seat.
So the foundation is set, right? We have the most beautiful foundation and the most amazing infrastructure. When you go and see the headquarters and you see what we're about and what we're doing in the world, now in Hong Kong and Singapore, it's amazing to see what Optavia has done in the world, but we are just getting started. So tonight is about you being awakened within you to see new vision, because without vision, people perish. So tonight, let yourself begin to imagine, and as people start popping in your head tonight, as you're listening throughout the night, I want you to know, like, there's a reason they're popping into your head while there's storm flagging going on. There's a reason for that. So I just want you to know the foundation is set. It's up to you. Are you going to be just a brick layer, or are you going to build a cathedral? I'm building a cathedral. That was my decision. I don't know if you've heard the tale of the brick mason people that are building. One person says, I'm building a wall, and the next person says, I'm building a cathedral. And when I heard that, early on in my coaching development, I said, I'm going to build a cathedral. I don't care how long it takes me. I'm going to do that. And like I look out at your beautiful faces, and I'm so grateful that I just kept laying, and I kept doing, and I kept staying consistent, because like the yes and the ripple effect is so powerful. So let's go out and truly get the vision in our head and go out and pursue the people that we love and care for.
Thank you. How awesome, Renee. Thank you for joining us tonight. The next person I'm going to bring up really doesn't need an introduction.